In the vastness of existence, we find comfort in the deep knowledge that the Creator not only knows us very well, but has also purposefully stitched us into the very fabric of existence. We recognize that this is a discovery that goes beyond the everyday and gives our life's journey divine meaning. At the heart of our existence is the comforting truth that our Creator, the master builder of the universe, knows every detail of our existence. In the stillness of our hearts and the depths of our minds, we find the comfort that our Creator did not make us by accident, but with purpose. The one who spoke galaxies into existence knows every detail of our character. This deep recognition goes even further than awareness. It includes the divine revelation of purpose. We are not lost in the flow of time with nowhere to go. No, our lives are part of a bigger story, a story with a meaning that was written by God. Every chapter, every turn, and every twist follows a divine plan that leads us to a destiny that was specially made for our trip. Recognizing this divine goal also means that we recognize that divine help is always available. The Creator offers a helpful hand that goes beyond what humans can do. He or she is ready to guide, strengthen, and lift us up on our way. This recognition isn't some far-off promise. It's here and now, a stream of kindness and support that flows with us through life's ups and downs. The Creator's help is not based on our actions or accomplishments, but on the unchanging nature of love and kindness in God. It's an unfathomable source of power, a safe place to go when things get hard, and a light to follow when things are dark. This divine presence and purpose give us both comfort and a call to live on purpose, in line with the bigger cosmic purpose that the Creator set out for the universe. Through the ups and downs of life's rough waves, faith is like a rock that keeps us safe during storms and leads us through the rough waters of existence. A belief system is not just a set of ideas, it is a living force that keeps our hearts steady and our minds strong when life's storms are about to hit. As an anchor, faith holds our hopes and fears in place and connects us to a truth that goes beyond this world. It reminds us all the time that we are not lost, even in life's worst storms, because our trust is in a power stronger than any storm on earth, God's mercy, which controls everything. When we stress faith as a driving force, we acknowledge its ability to change things. This idea is not just a thought, it is a real, live thing that helps us make decisions and deal with problems every day. We move forward with a sense of purpose when we have faith. It directs us toward the holy objective that the Creator set. With all the noise in the world, our faith tells us to make it a habit to listen, to intentionally tune into the words of God amidst all the other noise in our lives. In order to hear the gentle whispers of divine direction, we have to actively block out the noise around us and calm the fast-moving currents of our own thoughts. Setting aside time to listen to God's Word is a deliberate way to tune in to the frequencies of grace and wisdom. It's a recognition that there is a still, small voice that speaks timeless truths and lasting comfort amidst the noise of societal standards, personal goals, and outside pressures. This practice takes you on a journey inside yourself, looking for the holy resonance that fills your soul when you tune in to the divine frequency. To have a connection with the Creator, faith is needed as a way to stay grounded and find your way. It's a talk characterized by trust, surrender, and a readiness to hear what God has to say, rather than a long list of pleading requests. Through this practice of listening, we learn that faith is not only a source of strength, but also a way to find meaning in life, where every choice fits with the story written in the celestial scrolls. So, in the rough journey of life, faith stays our steady anchor, firmly rooted in the promise of divine guidance and leading us with a power that goes beyond the passing storms of our earthly journey. Let this profound realization sink in when you have some quiet time to yourself. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Consider the little things in your life and remember that you were all painstakingly made by a loving Creator. Your personality, abilities, and other distinctive characteristics are all deftly woven into the fabric of who you are. To consider how wonderfully and fearfully you were created is not a source of pride. Instead, it's a celebration of the divine beauty in every breath you take. It's a recognition that your worth doesn't depend on how other people judge you, but on how the one who knows how many hairs are on your head planned you. Also, believe the freeing truth that your failures are not obstacles on your path, but rather moving stones marked by God's kindness and forgiveness. Setbacks are not the end of the story of your life. They are just a side story in the bigger story of God's love and kindness. Accepting that you will fail sometimes is a sign that you are giving up control and letting the divine's power of redemption work through you. Allow yourself to let go of the weight of guilt and shame, knowing that every mistake is a chance for the grace of forgiveness to shine even brighter. Your mistakes don't make you who you are. They're just parts of the story of how you've changed. God's grace is the music that turns the discordant notes in your life into a beautiful work of harmony. It's the soft whisper that says, "I see how broken you are, and I still love you." Redemption isn't some faraway place. It's a process that never ends. It's God's promise that every fall can lead to a rise with more power. So when you look at yourself in the mirror, look past your flaws and mistakes. Take a moment to see the beauty that you are. You were made with fear and great love. Accept your mistakes as part of your journey, because even the worst threads in the fabric of redemption add to the beauty of the whole. I sincerely hope that realizing your value and receiving God's saving grace will bring healing to your soul and confirm that the Creator loves you. Consider yourself with love and kindness, knowing that the one who transforms ugly things into beautiful things is still writing your story. A deep truth lies at the heart of the spiritual journey. Discipline is key on the narrow path of faith. This means understanding that faith is not just a feeling, but a choice to live in a way that is in line with God's rules. This discipline is not a strict set of rules. Instead, it is a choice to make sure that your actions, thoughts, and decisions are in line with the holy lessons that show you the way. There are many things that can distract us and quick fixes that look appealing. Discipline is what keeps us on the narrow path of faith, being devoted to love, kindness, and doing what is right, even when the rest of the world seems to be moving in the opposite direction. People who follow a religion need discipline to keep them from getting comfortable and following the crowd. It reminds them that the path is narrow for a reason. It goes to a place of spiritual depth and communion with God. The call to use faith as a guide when making decisions and dealing with problems also rings out loud and clear during the decision-making process. When there is a lot of moral ambiguity and complexity, faith is what people use to judge their decisions. It's not just something to fall back on in tough situations. It's a standard that stays strong in the face of moral dilemmas and choices that will change your life. This call to use faith as a guide is a request to look at every choice through the eyes of God's knowledge. It's an acknowledgement that faith is not separate from other parts of life, but affects all of them. Faith is the leading light that makes sure we are in line with God's plan, even when we have to make small decisions every day or big decisions at a crossroads. When you practice faith, you don't make decisions on the spur of the moment or based on what the situation calls for. They stand in contrast to the moral compass, which always directs attention toward the divine through the prism of sacred beliefs. Discipline is needed on the narrow road, not because it's a burden, but to keep the journey holy. So be disciplined as you walk the narrow road of faith. Let faith be your guide in every choice you make and every task you face. When you follow your faith, the narrow path changes from a difficult trail to a holy journey where every step shows your unwavering dedication to the divine way. Starting on the path of faith means committing deeply to a goal that goes beyond the present, to a kingdom that can't be shaken and goes beyond the changing situations of this world. This is a recognition that the meaning of life goes far beyond the present moment, weaving a story that goes beyond time and links with the eternal. Giving your life to a higher cause means choosing to live for something bigger than the short-term pleasures and challenges of everyday life. It's a promise to align your actions, values, and goals with the rules of an unbreakable kingdom, a place that isn't limited by time, but is rooted in the eternal truths of God's wisdom and kindness. When someone is this dedicated, their faith becomes the beacon that guides them every step of the way toward a higher goal. It turns everyday things into holy rituals and times that don't seem important into chances to connect with God. Belonging to the unshakable kingdom is a statement that the only way to find true happiness is to seek out eternal truths, good qualities, and a close connection with God. Being aware that actions have eternal consequences gives every part of life more meaning and depth. We understand that the effects of our choices go far beyond the present and can be felt in the halls of forever. As you do good things, show compassion, and help others without expecting anything in return, you leave a memory that will last forever. This awareness is a transformative point of view that makes seemingly ordinary and unimportant things seem more important. It makes you feel responsible to live in a way that will be heard in the eternal realm, making a symphony of love and justice that will last forever. In the big picture of life, committing to a greater purpose and seeing things from an eternal point of view is a call to live with a deep sense of meaning and satisfaction. It's a break from the short-term goals that often rule our daily lives and a commitment to a goal that will last beyond this life. May your commitment to a greater purpose and awareness of eternal significance give your journey meaning and help you base your actions on the eternal truths of an unchanging kingdom. As you go through the waves of life, may your devotion to the eternal view lead you to a life that is filled with divine purpose and lasting meaning. People who are going through hard times can find a deep source of strength in the refuge of prayer and reflection. There is a place where the soul can rest and recharge, drawing on a divine source that is stronger than human perseverance. Prayer is not only a way to talk to God, but it's also a way to get stronger. Prayer gives us strength by reminding us that we are not the only ones going through hard times. When you are in quiet contact with the divine, an exchange that changes you takes place. When heavy burdens on the heart are given up, strength is given in return, a strength that goes beyond knowledge and comes from a well of endless grace. Another important part of this process is contemplation. It's a journey inside, a planned break in the chaos of life, where the mind and spirit can connect with greater truths. In the quiet of contemplation, one can see things more clearly and get a bigger picture. This lets the power that comes from prayer fill up every part of the soul. People often see trials as enemies, but in the refuge of prayer and reflection, they are seen through a different lens. Intimately woven into the fabric of our spiritual journey, they become chances to grow. Trials are not seen as impossible problems to be solved, but as fires that clean and shape the soul into a strong and resilient body. The promise of rebirth when you're tired becomes a lighthouse of hope when life gets hard. Being tired is not the end. It's the beginning of a divine renewal. When you pray, your soul finds rest, and when you think about things, your spirit discovers the inner sources of power that God is constantly filling. The circle of prayer, reflection, and going through hard times turns into a rhythm that changes people. It's not a way to avoid problems, it's a way to handle them with strength and grace. In this holy dance, the person learns that strength is not a limited resource, but a source of power that never runs out. May the strength you find in prayer and thought be your shelter when things get hard. May you see problems as chances to learn and grow, and may you see tiredness as a sign of divine renewal. Let the rhythm of prayer and reflection guide you as you walk the path of faith. May each trial make you stronger, more refreshed, and ready to face the next one. Aligning your mind with God's will is the most important part of spiritual awareness because it changes you. Realizing that this alignment opens up a huge potential that goes beyond what humans can understand and connects with the infinite knowledge of God is what it means to be aligned. Aligning your mind with God's will is not giving up your own freedom. It's a choice to walk in harmony with the divine's orchestrated cosmic music. It's a recognition that the Creator, in all His infinite wisdom, has woven a huge tapestry of life, and that each person has a special place in that tapestry. Aligning your mind with the divine will is like tuning in to the harmonious chords that connect you with the core of life. When things are lined up in this way, potential comes to the surface. This is potential that goes beyond personal goals or societal standards. It is a potential that is closely linked to the divine reason for which each person was made. When the mind is in line with God's will, it opens up and is ready to receive the creative and changing energy that comes from the source of all beings. This alignment is not passive submission, rather, it is active participation in how God is planning our lives. It means having a talk with the Creator all the time. This conversation happens in prayer, meditation, and the soul's quiet moments. The mind turns into a holy place where the whispers of God can be heard, and the Creator's direction is sought after and respected. Recognizing the potential in this alignment means realizing that the divine will is full of wisdom, strength, and grace that are just ready to be used. It means realizing that you are not going through life by yourself, but with the help of a greater power who is always with you and lights the way. Each step along the way has meaning and purpose. When a person's mind is in line with God's will, they become a part of God's plan. Working together makes it possible for the unique skills and gifts that were given to each person to grow and help the bigger plan of the universe come together. When this connection happens, it gives you power because the divine presence brings out your potential and makes it bigger. May the process of getting your mind in line with God's will be life-changing and powerful. May you see the huge potential in this alignment and walk with confidence in the reason you were made for. As your mind becomes in tune with God's will, may you find the beauty of living a life that fits with God's plan. A steady call awaits those who want to reach the heights of greatness, encouraging them to rise above the ordinary through selflessness, sacrifice, and a strong faith. Don't go on this trip if you're easily scared. Only people who know that real greatness is made in the fire of selflessness, humility, and unwavering faith should go on it. Calling people to be great through sacrifice is a recognition that giving up ease and personal wants is often necessary to reach a level of lasting significance. It's a call to go beyond oneself and invest in something much bigger than one's own goals. Giving up personal comforts and ease of life for the sake of others or the quest for a higher goal turns sacrifice into a sacred offering. Being humble is an important part of being great. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of power that comes from knowing your place in the big picture of life. It's the understanding that everyone, no matter how successful they are, is just a small part of life's bigger story. So greatness doesn't come from bragging about yourself, but from a humble attitude that recognizes how all living things are linked. Unwavering faith is what makes a person truly great. It's a promise that stands strong through changing circumstances and helps people move forward when things get tough. This faith isn't blind, it's a deep trust in the divine order of the world and an understanding that even when bad things happen, there is a plan that is being carried out with divine precision. Being dedicated to a practice that goes beyond shortcuts and easy routes is what makes someone great. In a world obsessed with quick fixes and instant gratification, living a disciplined and moral life is what leads to real greatness. Being strong enough to say no to the easy way out and sticking to a moral code that goes beyond what is convenient are both challenges. People find the magic of true greatness in the crucible of sacrifice, humility, and unshakable faith. It's a change that goes beyond mere accomplishments and leaves a memory that will affect future generations. The call to success is not a personal quest. It is a call for everyone to help others by sacrificing, being humble, and having faith in everything. Accept sacrifice, humility, and steadfast faith to improve your life and achieve true greatness. May you uncover lasting results of a life lived for something greater by committing to a discipline that goes beyond shortcuts. In the background of the universe, there is a sincere call, an urging that fits with the beat of life itself. It's an invitation to get up with the sun, based not only on the fact that it's daylight, but also on the deep guarantee of divine grace that comes with every new morning. This invitation is a call to people to step into the light of a new day with the promise of divine direction and purpose. To rise with the sun is more than just a physical act. It's an awakening of the spirit. It's an acceptance that every day brings new chances to live in line with the divine purpose that is woven into everything. As dawn paints the sky, so does this call encourage people to make their lives a work of art that shows how great God is. To live your life as a testimony to God's glory, you have to choose to bring a divine consciousness into everything you do, think, and associate with. It's an understanding that every thread in the fabric of life is important for showing how great the Creator is. The journey we take every day is like a canvas. Kindness, compassion, and gratitude paint on it to make a masterpiece that shows the divine reason that runs through everything. People are encouraged to rise above the problems that may appear in their way by relying on the promise of divine grace. This promise isn't a shield against trouble. It's a source of strength that helps you face problems with faith and strength. It is a constant reflection that the light of divine grace is a steady beacon that shows the way forward even when things are uncertain. This call to rise up and achieve your divine purpose is a clear message to live your life on purpose. This is a call to be in the present moment and know that every breath is a chance to connect with the divine purpose that runs through all things. It's the knowledge that the everyday and the extraordinary are linked and that there is a chance to make the divine purpose come true in both. May your answer to this call to rise with the sun be a strong affirmation to live your life as a testimony to God's glory. As you go about your day, may the promise of divine grace always be with you, giving you the strength to rise above problems and accept the unfolding purpose with thanks and awe. Through the brushstrokes of your deeds, may your life become a painting that shows the divine purpose that is built into your very being. There is a deep confidence in the big tapestry of life. This assurance can be heard throughout time and reaches deep into the soul. It is the promise that the Creator, who started a good job in the fabric of existence, will definitely finish it. This promise of divine completion is not just a dream, it is a statement based on the fact that the divine does not change. This promise is based on a deep belief that the Creator will keep His promises. It's a recognition that the beginning of every divine plan is not random, but an intentional act of the Creator's love and wisdom. God the Creator starts a good job in every person, every situation, and all of creation, whether they can be seen or not. Knowing that God will finish what He starts is a source of hope, especially when life is unclear and hard. It says that the story isn't over and that the closing chapter is when the Creator's plan comes together. During the ups and downs of life, this promise is a rock that can't be shaken. It reminds us that God's desire for completeness is stronger than any temporary situation. This divine finish doesn't depend on people being perfect or doing everything perfectly. As long as people are flawed and fallible, this statement says that the Creator's hand is still shaping, and perfecting the work that was started. It's proof of how patient and devoted the divine is, making sure that every thread of purpose is woven into the masterpiece of life. This assurance becomes a source of comfort and encouragement as people make their way through the maze of their lives. It gives them confidence to keep going because they know that the divine, who started a good job, will finish it. It gives you a foundation when you're feeling uncertain and a firm belief that, no matter how complicated the path, there is a holy end to every honest effort. When you're feeling down and don't know what to do, the promise of divine completion becomes a rallying cry, a statement of faith that rings through your mind. As the narrative progresses, it begs you to accept that the final few chapters were pen-written in divine ink and guided by wisdom beyond our comprehension. Please let this promise sink deep into your being and give you a strong faith in the Creator's promise to finish. In everything you do, May it bring you comfort to know that the one who started the good work inside, you will see it through to the end.